Hey, um, thank you for attending today's webinar. Today's webinar is talk about the AI and XR-powered digital therapeutics. I'm going to talk about the full life cycle, so how to innovate and how to you have an IP protection and commercialization. So I will be talk about three big topics. So I did pattern analysis. I'm a pattern attorney, so my approach to explore some innovation is based on patterns. So I will explain how I did and then what I got from this pattern innovation, pattern analysis to get the innovation status and the future directions. And I'm going to talk about I found from the 1 year's my research, I found that the good way to innovate DTX. So you have a good idea, then how starting from the scratch idea, then how you can develop your innovation up to the like commercialization as a product. And then finally, I was going to touch upon the commercialization aspect. Okay, so I think better in slide mode. So as I told you in the agenda, I'm going to talk about first that motivation, and then actually the how I explore this space, the fantastic, the one of the very exciting space in digital health is digital therapeutics innovations. And I'm going to talk about based on my explore for a year that I found a very systemic way to actually that you can look at the innovation. So I analyze all the relevance patterns and also I've also looked at the global startups innovations. So I look at their patterns and their technology, product, and other the clinical trials and FDA clearance, something like that. So I will share that how what I got, and then I will give you some good idea about how actually you can innovate. So in the next step, and I got some formula type the guidelines. So I developed that I found from my research that the most of the DTX product has some similar features. So I found that the common standard features, and I divided them by six, like a core element. And then I found that following that like a core element, and then you can from the starting from your idea, you can lead into the good innovation. And then I'm going to talk about based on that actually that I developed the platform. So I will share my idea that how you actually starting from the very simple idea, how to innovate. If you have some good idea, then you want to know about what kind of TTX you can innovate. Then I developed the based on my methodology, I developed the platform actually the integrating all the like essential part of the innovation. So I will explain that. And then I will touch up the like how to commercialize. So usually that from the like designs and then prototype MVP and then finally commercial go to market and then clinical trials and then some regulatory compliance stuff. That's called usually the full life cycle management framework. And I'm going to talk about the if you want to be comply to the like FDA clearance or other like a regulatory framework, and then you can follow some standard way to like innovate your up to the like market. So I will explain that, and then I will give you the what kind of future opportunity you will have. Okay, so first part. So as I told you that I I got some good motivation that to have an interest in DTX on about a year ago. And then I start my exploring of I try to do understand what is DTX and then what the current status and then what other stakeholders are doing and then what kind of things is going to be and what is the business opportunity or something like that. So I spent more than 1 year that look at, as I told you, that the patents and then product and then innovation and all the like relate the space. And then one of the research that I recently tried to publish is a book. So this book actually is very comprehensive based on my exploring all different health conditions from Alzheimer's disease to like they call like a cognitive health or the neurodegenerative health, and then also like explore uh, the mental health, depression and bipolar like disorders, and then anxiety, PTSD, and the other type of the kind of mental health problem that I explore. Another thing is like ADHD or the like autism. They call like developmental disorders. And then I also look at the for example the behavior stuff like maladaptive behaviors like addiction or the drinking, smoking, and opioid use disorder, something like that. So I look at it, and then after that, I look at the neurological health, and usually that is for the rehabilitation for the you have a recovery from the stroke, or you have a Parkinson disease, something like that. You have a problem in your neural system, and then you can have some problem with in the link with your physical activity. So that's when I look at it. And then even that recently there was activities like cancer care, so survivorship, and then in addition to like a traditional treatment, actually there are a lot of the behavior and mental space required, and then pain management. So the cancer patient with like a long-term care, they are usually depressed, and then some kind of they are very tended to be like discouraged. So DTX is good to like uh, integrate with the traditional cancer treatment to be boost your treatment is a better way. And I also look at the other for example, the chronic disease. So we experience in everyday life like diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular health, and other for example, migraines, and then some kind of less a respiratory kind of like ashima or the sleep disorder and then also there is a internal medicine type, and there are many type of the different thing I found, and I'll dig into there what the mechanism, what is the treatment, and what kind of details, something like that. So I just accumulate my analysis and then try to deliver very clear and very interesting way to deliver. So I spent a lot of time. I drafted the initial like a manuscript more than six months ago, but I don't like the way actually because I think about as a reader whether it's readable. So I spent a lot of time to rewriting, and then finally I have a final draft. So it'll be shared sometime. So it's kind of like I'm trying to say your storytelling. So the first thing is that the pattern can give you the behind the scenes. So usually if you just look at for example, your search over papers or search over the website or the attending webinar or attending conference or whatever, if there is a limitation, you really want to know about behind the technological scene. So that's why that I look at the patent, because the patents usually that legally, if you get the 20 years of the exclusive right, and on return, actually, you should reveal details. So usually the required, for example, USPTO, the patent law required that it is very descriptive. So it should be like a show that it's enabled and it is new and it's not obvious, something like that. There is some rules that to get right. So that's why in the patent document, actually, you can find a very valuable things that if you just didn't notice before. And then I tried to include a real world case. So that what happened actually that DTX really apply to the patient and then integrate with in the a traditional healthcare system like a doctors, clinician, and then in the view of the clinicians and then and doctors and patient how DTXs work. So I converted all the like very like a technical and very like theoretical like the statement in the patent to deliver as a, like a real world case study. And then I try to I already covered that it covered I think that nearly all the health condition you can think of by the can be used the GTX. And then I also look at the what are the future directions, and also like especially I'm very technologist. I've been 30 years in high tech industry, including all kind of like different technologies you can think about it. So I focused on two fundamental technologies can drive this DTX. Is first is everyone know about is artificial intelligence, and second is like extended reality. Usually they call virtual reality, mixed reality, augmented reality. You can think about it. So I'll focus on that. And then this is based on actually dimension that I look at I search over like what kind of like a patent related deep text is available, and then I find out about the 200 patent, and then I started to one by one, and then categorize them by the health conditions and by the owner, and then look at the what kind of like innovation they have, something like that. I did it. And this is another one that I look at the like what the innovation in actually. So I look at the startups in global startup, more than 200 startups. I look at their very details. So what is their product and what is technology innovation and patents and what their like innovation like investment status and then what is the driver like what is the leaders of the company and revenue market and clinical trial and then other like insurance reimbursed stuff. So I try to understand whole holistic feature of the DTX. So that book actually is based on that. And then this is one actually that I did the complete analysis of the startup in the globally, and then I found the current state of art and what is the future directions, and then there will be like it's a very good in a near future there will be good economic like ecosystem they can develop based on these startups. And then this is another one actually that I did a short manuscript, but it's a peer review, so it is a review by the expert, and then it is published recently, so you can access this so book chapter, and it'll be included in later. But it's kind of like what is the future of a digital interaction in the we call digital society. And then I take part in the digital healthcare, and then I look at the like a deeper level of understanding of the what is the innovation in the DTX. So this is aspect of the not just as a healthcare, but generally the technology and the digital society the point of view. So this is it's short, about the 30 pages, but very intensive. And then also I'm also like inventor. I'm not just the drafting pattern actually. I'm also inventor. I have my own invention is I applied more than 10 recently. And then for the digital health and digital therapeutics, I just started 1 year. After 1 year my research, and then I recently I filed two patents. So this is one actually the old platform. So one is to, as I told you, I'd like to provide the simplify. Because if you have attended my previous webinar, I found that something have some challenges in the DTX industry. And then I mentioned that, for example, several IPO pioneers actually that they bankrupt because they cannot find out the good market, and then they cannot form very good like a very good like a marketplace, very good ecosystem. And then I try to diagnose what's the problem based on my 30 years experience in other industry. And I look at that what might be the solution for that I can also contribute was a simplification, right? So the innovation process should be simplified. The like a regulatory pathway should be simplified. The way to actually the reimbursement should be simplified. Though actually you can adopt in the mainstream healthcare should be simplified. That's when I found that. So how I can contribute. So this is a two contribution actually that I come up with the idea and then I try to do have some patent and then I'm recently my focus is to actually make this one real. So I'm developing demo, the concept of proof of concept and demo and MVP that I'm going to do. But actually there is a good starting point that I can contribute two ways. First is the innovation platform. So this is a motivate actually that what happened that to like expand your DTX industry the boundary to the every like health ecosystem. And then is I have come up with some idea that if you have some DTX is a kind of like a treatment or whatever like your health management, right? So if you're interested in some particular like disease, a particular like a treatment or whatever the health condition, I have come up with the idea that is there any ways good simple like a tool that you just put in your idea and then whether you can have like a list of the recommendation that how actually that you can innovate through the DTX, right? This is a simple idea. So this is one actually that I talked with my family member that if you have this one, it'll be fun. They said fun, right? So I actually I tried this one in my ChatGPT. So I just make this all the component I have in pattern. I put in the ChatGPT and then and ask him like for example that oh I'm interested in that some details for the depression and then I'm interested in the patient is some kind of like symptoms and then the patient is like 40 years of the like a man and then he want to be like within 30 years he want to be improve some outcome something like this so initially you have some like interest and your question or something like that, or you are a researcher in the in developing new drugs, right? I'm going to talk about a little bit about the related drugs, but you have something that oh I'm developing a new drug, and then you are very curious of whether you can develop the companion DTX like the like you currently you're looking for some new drug discovery, and then you are very interesting whether you have a drug and you have a companion software DTX actually can be like a synergy between them. You've just put in the like a your like a current interest. So I'm developing drug for example indigestion or whatever, like a drug for the diabetic. Right, and the drug is targeting some specific health condition of the patient, right? And then I'm interested in that what kind of details will be good to be my drug development, something like that, right? So I just want to have a simple idea because I think that currently I look at the like more than 200 like startups, so what they're doing, what their process, and what their product, or something like that. I'm just thinking about oh, very complex, right? I don't want to do that, so I just to put in like in a simple way to in my platform. And the second thing that I'm interested in is that actually even if you develop, right, it should be included in the mainstream healthcare. Means that for example, you like you have an appointment with a doctor, and then you want to see the doctor, and the doctor see you, and then he just diagnose, oh, you have depression, or you have something, right? And then in his chart, in addition to like some drug list, they call like a drug formulary. And then it is included in the EHR system. And then you in your screen that you have some option like oh this is a patient chart that you look at it what kind of like a best treatment option and what is the best drug. In addition that actually they should be include your DTX list, right? And then so you can type it and then you have a list of the DTX actually that is there. And then you can see that what kind of usage or something like that and then you prescribe it. Right. And then after that, actually the doctor and the process in the through the like workflow and then is prescription and then patient get the app and then reimbursement something like that. So it should be included in the healthcare workflow, right? So this is a platform actually can include your DTX product in the workflow and then utilizing real world evidence to use for other purpose. And then I another thing that I'm interested in, as I told you, I'm also New York State attorney. So I'm trained as a attorney, and then I found that I talked with a lot of the people in innovation in DTX and digital solution, even other like healthcare services or medical device, whatever. A lot of the like, for example, founders, they are scientists and engineers, and they don't have anything like legal knowledge. And then they told me that it's very difficult to understand what is required from the FDA. Even someone that he is very difficult to time to like recognize that whether his product should be FDA cleared or not. Right? It's a fundamental question, like not just go through, but in the at the start. So a lot of the like, for example, that startup founders, they confuse about it and then inquire it. They hire the consultant in the space or hire a lawyer or something like that. And then they spend a lot of time, money, and then still they are very confused and there is a gray space or something like that. So I found that, oh, this is the place actually that I can contribute. So I can understand legal document. And then I can convert it to the like the plain language to the innovator, to the businessman, whatever, never have experience in legal understanding. So this is another topic is ongoing that my goal is to simplify this process. I want to make another tool that convert to the legal terms, usually the FDA like clearance rate the like for example, there are a lot of the recently interesting in the AI ML enabled like a medical device, the software as a medical device stuff. So I try to understand what is the legal meaning. So what is defined in the FDA or other global like regulatory agencies, and then I try to convert it to the business language, so the normal language, and then I try to make something like the utilizing generative elements, understanding, summarize the communication. So I try to make an interface between the legal and the business side that they communicate each other, so make them easier to understand what is the like required, what whether my product will be under like a scrutiny of the FDA, and then what is a process I should follow, right? This is what I'm interested in. So this will be another contribution to simplify regulatory pathway. And then this is the one thing that I'm going to do. That webinar will be next week, and the 1 week after the next week will be that I'm going to talk about the recent opportunity prescription drug use rate software. So this is the same thing that I motivated because I'm surprised that I didn't know that this one with, until recently. And actually, my like a platform starting from this kind of idea that you have like a traditional treatment, traditional drug, and then you want to know about what kind of like details can be like a synergetically integrated. And I'm motivated. I developed my platform, and then I found that then I can change some different like info like before that the info was of patient profile target condition, and here that I can find is the, like what is the drug profile, like what is your drugs like a side effect, uses, something like that. You have a drug profile, and then with a target condition, like health condition, with the patient information, then I can have another platform that easily develop based on your like understanding of your drug. And then I can provide the software actually can companion with the drug. So exactly the same meaning as a prescription drug use related software. So I'm interested in what the legal, the regulatory framework, and then what kind of like a digital health solution will be available. And then if you want to develop your own, then what is the simple tool that I want to provide? Okay, so after that, I'm going very fast because I already put everything in my website. So so first one that actually that I already published in articles, so you can look at the detail. So what you can do with your pattern analysis, I would like to understand what really behind the scene your product, right? So for example, that the if you go to actually what I did was actually you I will look at the product listed. For example, good list is you can find out in the like a DTX alliance, like this is like alliance. You go to there is a list of the product, and then I look at their explanation, and I found that very complex. Right. So I wanna understand what's behind the scene that so I look at the starting from the like company and their product name, and then I started looking over the what is the related pattern that can be covered by these products, and then I found a bunch. So this is one example that I found out that so I have a very good idea that what really the behind the scene, that how the like a DTX actually the apply to the patient and how actually the it like internally work and then you get the outcome. So if you understand this, then you can have a very good idea that first whether it can be effective, right? You can judge. Even before you go to the like a clinical trials, you can judge even the theoretical. Second, you can have a like a sort experiment, and then third thing you can have a simulate, right? So and then you can have a come up with a like a better idea to improve this. This is motivation. I look at it. And this is another one that you can have a very good, like a new product development idea that based on this, and then you can have a like a additional, you have a based on your own experience, expertise, you found that, okay, so I understand this process of DTX. And then I found that this process, some side of the maybe you can develop this further, or you can for example, in the drug discovery you can like repurposing kind of like so you are currently have your drop for the a specific use case, right? Use uses, and then you have a something, and then you find out another way combining. Actually, it is patternable. You know that because for example, you have aspirin. Right, is a patent as a first is a for example it is a patenting was a patent issue as like a for treatment of the pain. And next you find that, oh, it can be applied to the, like, for example, very good for your like cardiovascular health. And then it is a new discovery. So it can be patentable. It's the same thing. The DTX, you have a like a bit of a patent, right? But actually you find that the new way to like develop, for example, do you find that this is applied for the pain management? But you have something, the different mechanism and combine it. And then I found that, oh, it can be applied to like a depression, for example. It can be patentable, and this is a new innovation, right? So this is the one actually that you can use it. And another thing is to I found that DTX can be used in the precision medicine, right? So this is one actually that I have a vision in future that I already mentioned maybe several times before that in the future, what I'm thinking about in the future that I envision and I want to contribute is that in the future, some certain time, you have computing power surrounding you, right? And then this computer is with you, right? Because I call ambient doctors, AI doctors. So they know they have understanding you, they understand the all kind of medical knowledge, they all kind of like a practical ways, right? And then it monitoring you, and then it like it's screening, diagnosing, and preventing treatment. So in case that you have a come down with some disease, and then find out the diagnose, and then find out, and then after that, what happened is that okay, then based on like your current status and based on your whole historical data, that I will design DTX for you, right? So your ambient computer is starting to like design DTX for your symptom, and then after that, this is a software, like it's produced. So for example, you have a ChatGPT, they can have a code, provide a code. And then beyond that, actually it execute your code. And then they provide the DTEX app. This is completely personalized, right? Because it's only for you, right? I'm not sure whether it happened, but this is one actually. But still, that even the current state that details can be used in many aspects of the like a personalization and the precision medicine you can apply even not not counting like a genomic data analysis, something like that. Even they count you, right? Looking at you using your smartphone, and then you have like a particular your personal biomarkers analysis, and then they can provide you some personalized way to treat you like some health conditions, right? So this is one you can do that with the DTX. And another thing is so like the DTX can I found that from my pattern analysis and other companies' analysis that if you want to develop a new DTX utilizing like an immersive experience, extended reality, then I made this like a process actually that you follow it and you can design your own, right? So this is one actually that I got from my analysis of the previous pattern and then product rate XR, and then I found the common sense of the like what kind of process you can follow that you can develop. So this is one I got it. And and then here's a bunch of the thing I recently I developed. So this is included in my book, and then I make it as a video. So just please look at it, and then the good berry it very good, right? So if you follow this one, actually the very good. I tried my best, and then try to make it is a simple term and understanding to provide what is the DTX for specific health condition, Alzheimer, mental, or whatever that you can have all the scope of the like health condition I consider. Okay, the second one, innovation guide. So as I told you that I started from my analysis, I found that very specific common element of all the DTX innovation. And then I found that, okay, so based on that, I can develop some standard rate. Actually, you can follow, then you will have a new DTX innovation. So this is one actually you can
Guide for developing AI and XR-powered digital therapeutic innovations. Imagine embarking on a journey to develop a new digital therapeutic, DTX, innovation, combining the best of AI and XR technologies to create an adaptable, data-driven, and patient-centered personalized therapeutic experience. This is not just a product roadmap but a pathway to revolutionizing how we deliver therapy, one that considers every patient's unique story, condition, and evolving needs. This guide provides a structured approach, encompassing 6 core elements, to empower the creation of truly personalized therapeutic experiences that can be adapted for a variety of health conditions. 1. Therapy determination. The journey begins by crafting a personalized therapy plan that moves beyond traditional pharmacological interventions. For each condition, we start with a deep dive into evidence-based, non-pharmacological, standard of care therapies, always aligning with clinical guidelines while weaving in personal details like the patient's age, lifestyle, and health history. For example, Alzheimer's disease therapies may include cognitive exercises, memory stimulation activities, and neurostimulation, while mental health therapies might leverage mindfulness practices or exposure therapy to support emotional regulation. This targeted approach ensures that the therapy selection is both rooted in clinical evidence and finely tuned to individual needs, paving the way for more impactful therapeutic journeys. 2. Digital therapy delivery selection. Choosing the right digital option for delivering therapy is critical to engaging patients effectively. Each condition calls for unique solutions, like XR for Alzheimer's, where virtual tasks and visual aids can strengthen memory and cognition, or mobile apps with AI chatbots for mental health, offering real-time emotional support and personalized prompts. The key here is accessibility, ensuring patients can access therapy through multi-device compatibility, whether it's on a VR headset, mobile device, or desktop. By selecting the appropriate digital channel, we create an adaptable framework that optimizes patient engagement, meets accessibility needs, and offers a seamless experience. 3. Digital therapy content development. Once digital option for delivering therapy is selected, it's time to design the therapy experience itself. This step involves creating content that engages patients and adjusts to their real-time feedback. For Alzheimer's disease, we can use VR simulations that place patients in familiar scenarios, promoting cognitive engagement through storytelling and spatial navigation. In mental health, Multi-sensory XR experiences paired with mindfulness exercises provide a safe space for emotional exploration and self-reflection. Meanwhile, developmental disorders benefit from skill-building simulations tailored to reduce sensory overload. Every piece of content is crafted with the patient's journey in mind, fostering a more accessible, engaging, and personalized therapeutic process. 4. Digital therapy delivery implementation. Implementing digital therapy requires the integration of real-time adaptability through sensors, wearable devices, and eye analytics. For Alzheimer's disease, real-time data collection helps personalize therapy dynamically, adjusting as the patient's condition evolves. In mental health, a closed-loop system responds to physiological cues like heart rate, adapting therapy complexity to manage anxiety or stress levels. For developmental disorders, wearable devices provide sensory management, filtering distractions and creating a calming therapeutic environment. With real-time monitoring, predictive adjustments, and an ever-evolving delivery framework, this implementation ensures therapy remains relevant, effective, and personalized. 5. Data utilization and data-driven insights. Data is the backbone of DTX innovation, allowing therapy to evolve alongside the patient's progress. Real-time data on heart rate, sleep patterns, or activity levels guides Alzheimer's disease therapy customization, while mental health assessments draw on social interactions, environmental data, and biometric inputs to refine interventions. In developmental disorders, AI models track behavior metrics to adapt therapy sessions on the fly. This data-driven approach not only supports continuous improvement, but also offers actionable insights for clinicians, empowering them to make informed, timely adjustments that enhance patient engagement and outcomes. 6. Eye integration. Eye is the heartbeat of this digital therapeutic journey, driving adaptive, personalized care through predictive modeling and emotional analysis. Eye-driven models can anticipate cognitive decline in Alzheimer's disease patients, adjusting therapy to support memory and cognitive resilience proactively. In mental health, AI uses effective computing to read facial cues and adapt therapy intensity in real time, creating an emotionally responsive experience. Developmental disorder treatments leverage predictive analytics to maintain focus and engagement, adjusting the complexity as needed. AI continually learns from patient interactions, fine-tuning therapies to ensure they remain effective and personalized throughout each patient's journey. In following this guide, we are not merely implementing a digital therapy solution, we are setting the stage for a transformation in patient care, one that combines science, empathy, and technology to create personalized, adaptive, and truly impactful therapeutic experiences. Through this structured approach, we can forge DTX innovations that not only meet clinical needs, but also offer patients a supportive, engaging, and responsive journey toward health and wellness.
So, I will let you know that I'm developing the demo system. So I'm developing the very simple demo that just assume that only the mental health and you if in the I'm going to provide the ChatGPT interface. So I'm provide a guide that what kind of info needed. And then it will give you like for example, what is the like a standard of care therapeutics you can have based on your input. And what is the digital like way to deliver your therapy and how you can implement and what kind of thing actually you can develop more like engagement and adaptiveness and other things that you describe in this platform. So stay tuned that I'll try to do my best to deliver this one and it'll be fun, right? Because I tried in my ChatGPT, I provide all the information that I have, and then I got an answer. Answer was very, very exciting, right? So I wanted to that, and then maybe that I have some consensus with the community that maybe like I needed some like financial support and other like the partners, and then I can develop fully like develop this platform. Who knows? Maybe within next year. Okay, so for other thing, this video is about the what is the explain about what is the core element. We have a six core elements, so please look at it. And next thing is commercialization. So the usually that this is just you have a video, so you should look at it from the design, prototype, clinical trial, real world application, and data integration secondary. So please look at it, and then this is just the formality that you can have it. And in case that you are interested in that under the like FDA the clearance. And then also like you have a AI ML enabled component. And then if you look at FDA the side, they are very recent they're very interesting is to when AI ML component included in the medical device. And then what happened is the AA ML is continuously running. So they can, for example, if you have like a targeting initial use case, right? And then you get the FDA clearance. But after actually after approval, well, actually, your AI can improve using the new data, new training, and then it can change many things, right? So they worry about that, and then they have some framework to that, and then based on their framework, I develop it. You cannot see in the FDA, like this is not FDA. I'm going to do like a FDA develop this life cycle management next week, but this is the one I developed. So this is based on not FDA, but I'll include FDA concern, and then I use this one. This is based on this is industry. So this is based on the ISO standard development software development process. So this is different from the FDA defined. If you're interested in the FDA defined like life cycle management, you can look at my next webinar. So please look at it. But basically, I'm interested, even if you commercialize that, how you can actually can include in the traditional healthcare system. So healthcare system, as I already explained, that this is one. So you have a doctor, patient, and see doctor, right? As I mentioned that you diagnose, and then you have a treatment plan, and including your prescription drug, right, or the other treatment. And then it provide like depending on the like your supporting for EHR, and then you provide like some e-prescription, and then this is actually the manufacturer in the traditional or is a pharmacy, right? So you can have a pharmacy online pharmacy deliver, and then you have your drug, and then there is a reimbursement step or something like that. It's traditional one. How you can include DTX to this system is a matter, right? So we develop I have a partner for that, and then we developed the very clever way to including using our platform. So please look at this video, right? Because this is fun. So I just developed for example, we are targeting first will be we have a formulary for we actually the evaluate about the 50 the currently available the DTX product can be included in this product for different health condition. Actually, I provided in my previous webinar, but we are targeting the first the demo will be the focus on mental health. As you know that recently CMS determined that the CMS code for the reimbursement. So uh, the mental health details is good to be included in this traditional healthcare system because they are ready to go, right? Can be reimbursed, and I look at the FDA clear, and then the interesting is that even if you have FDA clear, for example, in the FDA side, there is a 950 that the AAML like enabled medical device are released. And then the interesting thing is that almost like 60% of this FDA cleared like the product was not and never ever went to the clinical trial. So FDA clearance does not mean is efficacy. They only the concern about the safety. So our criteria is to that the product whether be the FDA cleared for the US market and whether they have a security cleared, like for example HIPAA and other like the industry norm. And then we look at the whether they through the clinical trial, there are different type of clinical trial actually that I provide in my previous webinar. So I look at we have some different criteria that recently I found that several other entities to provide their way to provide some recommended digital health solution, including DTX. We have completely different ways because we are targeting that actually can apply in the real life like a healthcare flow. So we are very tightly about outcome, reimbursement, and then safety. So we're targeting clearly that scrutinize for the clinical trials, FDA clearance, reimbursement, and the ease of use for the ease of use. Actually, we have a component engagement component can take over for the patient part. And so actually we can just modify the traditional product using our frame that you can have a shorten your pathway. So that's why that I mentioned that I wanna be like what is a solution for the current DTX ecosystem is simplify and shorten pathway. Right, that's one I diagonalize for two solutions can be DTX can be a mainstream healthcare and a lot of the companies have a fruit of their multi-years endeavor. So that way actually the how to actually the cleverly decrease your pathway. The pathway means starting from the product and then go through the clinical trials and the FDA clearance and reimbursement step. And then another thing is simplify every step, right? How that's why I provide like how to develop new innovation, very simple way using my tool, how to like shorten your innovation, and then how you can be include your product in the mainstream like a workflow. That's one I'm really interesting. And then additionally, that I'm looking at at whether actually the simplify to actually rather than simplify actually the make the FDA the clearance pathways to easy to understand, make the simple way. So actually that the innovator actually the get through this FDA clearance is much easier and much shortened in the time span. So it will be save the cost. So that's one actually that I'm going to do in the next step. Okay, so I'm done. So because we have like about 10 minutes, so if you have any question or comment or whatever, because for as far as the DTX for that I explored 1 year, so all the link the link to my previous webinar and previous article, books, or something like that, so you can refer. But from now on, as I mentioned, that I will actually contribute. So I'm going to develop the platform more fully and then starting from the demo system. So I have going to two platform to do. And then recently I'm preparing another pattern for the the prescription drug related software development. So I'm going to show in the 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, actually, I have another webinar about this topic. So I will show you that how you can develop this prescription drug related software can easily. And another thing will be the shorten your like FDA clearance. So that's one under my research that I will show you. And I welcome anyone that will be maybe with meet my me and then you wanna go this way, right? Because I have a big vision as mentioned in the future that will be a purely completely like a personalized GTX for you certain time. And then I think that this is starting time and then I'm going to keep going on. And whenever I have a good idea, I'm going to share my idea. And I'm looking for some partners for this way. So I will keep going on this way. Okay. Is there any comment or any question? Randy, do you have any question? Wendy, you are actually you are the person actually the I you attend my webinar more frequently than others. So do you have any comment of my webinar content or whatever? Because after my through my like a webinar up to the first week of the December, that my next one will be somewhat different because I'm going to more concentration on my own innovation. So this type of the like webinar will be this will be the final one. So do you have any comment or any like a question? No one? Okay, so you can. I already shared that. Well, you can have a presentation. So in this presentation, actually, you can access all my previous webinar content and then article and the book publications. So please look at it, and then I hope to see you. Maybe I have still have a several webinar about this regulatory stuff and then the prescription drug like related software. So. So please to visit my LinkedIn profile to my update, and then I will share the this recording and the presentation, and hope to see you again in my future webinars. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Yep. Thank you. Have a nice day.